No, no. I am resident of Colorado for YouTube. Joe Saves, that is Vickie Rae.
Hi
We
guys.
are here to review The Night of the Hunter, directed by Charles Lawton, screenplay by James Agree. So this was based on The Night of the Hunter, a novel by Davis Grubb, produced by Paul Gregory. Cinematographer is Stanley Cortez. Music by Walter.
Awesome, but awesome cinematography in this film.
Yes,
It's been talked about
yes.
for decades after the fact, even though Charles Lawton was never directed another movie because he was upset this one did not do well. But this is the director's director movie. This is a go-to. Everybody that directs says you have to watch this movie now.
It's it's such a classic movie. When did you first see this?
First time I saw this, gosh, it must have been like 20 or 30 years ago. Me and my
Yeah.
mother used to watch monster movies and stuff every Saturday. This was one of them. I just thought that this one was kind of memorable for whatever reason because Robert Mitchum, I've never seen him play such a an annoying countenance of a man who's also a bad man, who's also a godly man, who's also a serial killer. They said that there was a lot of this going on back during the Depression, that there's this kind of stalking of women, and there was actual serial killers that just went and tore through, the Depression years of America. It just made people's lives more miserable. So there was some attributes to this story that were kind of loosely based on some facts,
Yeah.
but it was this the Great Depression in West Virginia that already makes it harder. Was it Ben Harper? Was that was Peter Graves, wasn't it? That played Ben
Oh,
Harper.
Peter Graves. Hold on one second. Yeah, that was Peter Graves. Yes.
Yeah, it must have been one of his earlier because I don't remember seeing him anything earlier in that. Well, he entrusts the secret to his two children. Well, he steals money. It's
Yeah.
almost 10,000, which is probably like close to 500, 600,000 in today's dollars for that time. He tells the son where the money is, and he
Hmm.
ends up getting executed in prison. But he meets Harry Powell, who learns about the hidden money through knowing this guy in prison. And he thanks God, being the godly man he is, for putting him in that kind of position. What a weird character Mitchum plays in this. He just
Mitchum.
really is. He's a chilling false preacher. I mean, well, I guess he played in Cape Fear and Out of the Past, so those were weird noir roles for him too, right? He was in
Yeah.
Cape Fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the original. Hmm.
And you know what I've realized about Shelley Winters watching this the second or third go around? I've never really noticed it, but when I started watching, if you look at all of Shelley Winters' movies, it seems like they've always cast her to be the bimbo blonde kind of, the dumb. I mean, she carries it well. I mean, she does it well. She never really had a problem doing those kind of roles.
No.
But I mean, she did those a lot. Like she did a role with Montgomery Clift and Elizabeth uh, Taylor in a murder about a murder show movie too, and I mean it's just I don't know, it's just kind of different how they always portrayed her that way. And one of the most haunting scenes out of Hollywood came from that one scene where Shelley Winters is underneath the water attached to the car, and you have to admit that that is a creepy ass scene.
What's even creepier is when they shoot it from above, from looking
Oh, I
down on
know.
you
When
guys
you're
in the
looking
boat.
down and what that would really, I mean, if I was looking down on something like that, I would really trip balls seeing something like that. But just
Yeah.
that imagery really it's kind of stays with you. So it's kind of almost, it's a thriller, but it's really kind of a horror movie in it. And it's got so many different, it's got so many different kind of, styles and cinematic significance into it. Lots of sharp shadows with the stylized sets. I mean, this one blends a lot of fairy tale imagery with the horror. And that's why when you read into this, what the directors are saying about it, because like you've got that whole river thing, Indiana Jones has his chase scenes with the truck. This one, you have that river escape scene. It's almost poetic, don't you think? Because and there's just religious symbolism and expressionism throughout the whole thing. And they use a lot of exaggerated silhouettes. I guess maybe that's what makes it such a, I don't know. It's kind of a neat movie to watch just because of the lighting and
Hmm.
how, Charles Lawton, I can't believe he never made another movie. I guess he was so disappointed with the reception of this one because it's actually quite good. But the box office failure was critically, misunderstood, I think. But it's
Yeah,
been reevaluated and it's totally loved now.
yeah, it's one of the greatest noir sort of murder movies of all time too, because here here I love how they don't show you Shelley Winter's character being killed off. They don't show the murder.
No,
They
you
show
hear
him
the
having
noise though.
yeah, they have the knife over the head where Robert Mitchum has the knife over her head because she still believes in this man of God. If you even at the end of
Yeah.
her life, which
Who
I like.
embarrasses her for wanting to have sex with her husband because that's evil too. The sins of Eve.
Yes, yes. Oh
Always
my
the sins
God.
of Eve. Why is it the sins of Eve?
Yeah, right. It's like you married this beautiful woman and you're not going to do anything with her
Yeah,
sexually at all.
I thought that the wolf in sheep's clothing at that point, that would have been one of his, things that his go-to behavior, but he just quoted scripture. I mean, he's kind of a cool criminal, like a cool villain, almost like, like Imhotep on the Mummy. He's a cool villain. There's just kind of villains you kind of love to hate, kind of sort of. And then he has the love hate, speaking of love hate,
Yeah,
on his knuckles. And you see that throughout filmmaking and cinema and other like series because that caught on, you
yeah.
know, the love hate tattoos because it shows his conflict between violence, good and evil, compassion and violence. Um, he's got all these wild monologues too that turns morality into spectacle in some ways.
Yeah.
But
That
he's a righteous psycho. I guess I want to say. And then you've got Willa Harper. You said she's a martyr. She's a religious martyr. She wants to be purified and just do wonderful whatever. I don't know how much more she's supposed to suffer at this man's hands. But she's trying to be a true Christian. Meanwhile, you got Lillian Gish, who's Rachel Cooper, is the true Christian who does take care of the children. And this is all during the Depression, so you see them handing out potatoes because that's really all you could probably afford to hand out to people walking by that were hungry. My mother often talked about the Great Depression like that.
that's interesting. I love how they open this movie because you see this wide shot of these kids playing in this yard, and they're playing hide and go seek, and they're going towards the basement cellar, and there's the dead body. You see the woman's legs and the heels.
Yeah, yeah, the kids fight. That was his first kill, I believe, or one of them.
Yeah, that was his first kill. And then you see him driving down the road, and
All
he's talking to
happy,
God. He's
talking to
talking,
God, praying to just telling God he's all happy. He knows where he's going.
yeah.
That's just so. I mean, really, God, he does play a great psycho. I mean, Cape Fear is so good too.
Hmm.
Now I think about that, I really love seeing Lillian Gish in this. I just, they cast her intentionally. I read too to represent the moral and traditional
Yeah.
strengths, goodnesses, whatever. Because she is the good guy, in this. I mean, she's got the gun. You know what I thought was one of the best scenes was when he's out there singing a gospel hymn and then she joins him from the inside, which was really extremely creepy. Victim and villain singing gospel. And this is also one of the earliest films centered on children fleeing from a serial killer, which elevated Robert Mitchum's screen legacy to villain after a while. But was Cape Fear before or after this? I can't remember now. And I lost Jewel. Hello, Daluja?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think this movie, as a cinematography look too, is so beautiful. Even in black and white brings out the greatest of films, especially when you're doing a noir murder movie, and
Yeah.
you're showing the audience this danger that is going on, and you're kind of it makes you feel helpless as the audience in a great way. Um,
It's almost
what's the
storybook imagery the way they filmed it, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Um, and I love how uh, sorry, Lillian Gish. Her, I love her performance in this because Robert Mitchum is very Michael Myers before Michael Myers. He's
Yeah, yeah,
very,
he's more Michael Myers probably than Michael Myers was.
yeah, he was, and he. This isn't. It isn't the same kind of. When you watch Cape Fear in this too, it isn't the same type of psychopath. It's a very different style of
Yeah,
psychopath.
but it's still chilling.
Yes, absolutely. It's very, very chilling. What's some of your favorite scenes?
Well, I like I said that the scene where he's singing out front while Lillian Gish is holding the gun, and then she starts singing with him. I thought that that was pretty powerful. Scene considering he's out there trying to murder him, and they're singing gospel to each other, and she's fixing to shoot him if he comes in. and
Yeah,
and all the imagery with this just the boat going down the river and all of the it's like it's a symbolic kind of thing. Water often represents purification, new starts, rebirth kind of thing, but they're just kind of floating through this surreal landscape. And you wonder, and then you
yeah,
finally see, and then they're in the barn, and then you see him on his horse, and then you see where he's going, and it's just watching these two kids get away from him. It's just it really it keeps your interest quite a bit. And you got little Pearl, she's singing nursery rhymes a lot. I mean, just the kids were just amazing actors. I mean, the little girl was amazing.
yeah,
But when it comes down to scenes, though, the underwater murder scene has got to be one of the most haunting images in American cinema. It
yeah.
has to be. And I mean, I was trying to go through my brain about other things that I've seen, but
Hmm.
that is just so severely disturbing that,
Yeah,
like he's looking down onto the car, when he's fishing, and there she is, and then you see her hair. It's like it resembles a halo, the way her hair is floating in her arms, and
yeah,
her posture just like is like evoking like what you see on a religious Catholic card that you pick up at a funeral or something. And it's kind of serenity of sacred art almost. And in the water, we got water. There's a lot of symbolism in this movie. Water
yeah,
hides crime, water is cleansing, conceals corruption. um, you know it's just a lot of silence and stillness. I mean, everybody has to watch it because it's like a dreamlike horror movie, but it involves children, and it's one of the very first movies that actually goes there with the kids.
yeah. It's really, I love the water escape scene too because from down in the basement where they were basically trapped there with him,
Oh
and
yeah, and
the
then they
little
had
girl
to get up.
confesses. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, the little girl tells him, "Hey, the money's in my doll," and he starts laughing. Like,
He didn't
of
really
course,
seem. It just seems like I don't know. I would probably been the only thing I did notice about this movie. I would have probably tried to escape a little harder,
yeah,
but they were kid actors, and I believe that
yeah,
young man. I've seen him in other movies. His name's eluding me right now. But the moral is of this is like it's kind of like a Christmas ending. You got the Christmas ending, the tone shifts towards the end because you got the true Christianity is restored, don't we? She's sheltering the children. She's a true Christian. He was a mockery of Christianity because he was not a pastor, and then you've got the Christmas where everything is brand new. You've got renewal. The
yeah,
children survived, and it's all about moral fables and what do you call them, cautionary tales. But who gets married to some strange man during the
yeah,
Great Depression that just because he looks like a pastor? So, I mean, there was a lot of naivete going on, but it was not a naive ending, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
I
But I
do like,
mean, honestly, I mean, it was such a great movie. It really
yeah,
is.
yeah. I do like how you have the woman in the ice cream parlor basically vouching for the preacher who she doesn't really
Yeah.
know, you know. So you have that going. The
That's because
water,
he's a preacher and he's handsome.
yeah, but it's wolf in sheep's clothing, right? And yeah, Billy Chapin, sorry, who's John Harper here. Great, him and Sally Bruce, really great job. Um,
Yes.
because they're hiding in the basement. When they make that escape too, they first go to the old guy's boat shack, if you will. They need his
Yeah.
help, and he's too drunk to do anything about it. And he's the one who saw the woman in the water, and they're afraid he'll blame it all on him because he's their uncle or something. And it's like, holy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. That whole river sequence when they're going down over the whole, not just the scenery of it, but when he's following them too, when he's like on horseback, when he's stalking them repeatedly,
Yeah. And
because
it's
they,
not even a great horse when you think about it. It's like an old nag he's following them.
yeah, yeah, it's right. It's a very old horse. It's like an old nag. He doesn't have this great mare horse. He needs
No, I
that.
mean it's such a weird. He's such a weird character. I mean, he's just. I mean, it also. I think this also gave a huge boost to like horror and Southern Gothic. Like whatever happened to Baby Jane. Kind of reminds me, kind of, kind of the energy going on. I mean, it's all good and evil just aren't really kind of written into the dialogue. It's kind of carved into the cinematography, the shadow and everything. I mean, this film would not be nothing without the shadow. I mean, I don't know why. I guess it was ahead of its time, and audiences, from what I read here, they said they expected conventional realism, and that critics were confused by the stylization because of its daring visual design.
Yeah,
It was totally, well, it was silent era expressionism kind of. I think
yeah.
I think I read that Charles Lawton went back to see he studied silent era films to try to bring some of that to light in this, and it really does come to light in it. It's quite an unusual film. It's really like one of a kind, actually, when you think about it. After all the movies people like us watch, when you see that, and I mean, what it is it created a mythic villain, who's also a false prophet. He's also, beware of, you know, the wolf, in sheep's clothing. And he's a corrupted man. He's a sinful
Yeah.
man, and that's why Lillian Gish is the total opposite of what he represents. And they did a good job representing that in the film.
It's interesting. Principal photography of No Little Hunter began on August 15th and ended on October 7th, 1954. A total of 36 days of shooting. Lawton kept the editor and musical composer on set during the filming, which was very uncommon for the time. Mitchum originally suggested that Lawton shoot the film in authentic Appalachian locations, meaning Appalachian.
Yeah.
But there was insignificant budget to do on location shooting. So,
There was a lot of painted scenery.
Yes, there was.
But it was really cool, though. I really
Yes.
did. It didn't bother me. It was like part of the film. It's what made it so good.
Yeah, it's the scenery of this movie, in a way, it's beautiful, but it's also terrifying because you know who's coming for the kids.
Yeah,
And you're sort of sensing that terror. And once they meet the elder woman, the older woman who's helping raising all these other kids, and she is religious, she soon realizes, okay, the boy breaking down is my favorite scene to the woman, where he breaks down her because he witnessed his father be arrested. That breakdown moment was so like, he was holding all this emotion in. This is what I
yeah,
saw.
and taking care of his little sister too,
Yeah.
and I love how she knew that he was a phony as soon as she saw him. I
Yep.
mean, all the other women were like, like just have love bombing him, and then when it came to Lillian Gish, she saw right through him immediately.
I
But
love.
that's how he lured women, wasn't he? He posed as a respectable man.
Yes, he did, and he even lies about his time in jail in a sense because he says, "Oh, I was his preacher." He plays that. He doesn't say he was his cellmate. Um, I love the scene where the woman is sitting in her rocking chair holding the gun in her home, and he
Yeah,
just pops up in the dark, very creepy. And
yeah,
when she shoots at him, he's like hollering around like Bugs Bunny. That's one of the
yeah.
most
Well, it was
funnier.
comical too. What
Yes.
cracked me up was they actually filmed some of this in Moundsville prison. I've been ghost hunting to Moundsville. That place, creepy, creepy, creepy. But yeah, Moundsville was not a nice place to be interred at. I could imagine a lot of bad people came out of that place. But it was inspired by real Depression era serial murders, though,
Yes.
based on a
Yes.
novel influenced by real crimes, but was presented as a moral allegory rather than historical drama, though. But it
Yeah.
did have a lot of painted backdrop and with the exaggerated shadows. But I think that's what made it so good because it had all that dark light composition. And I mean, the lighting was just beautiful. I mean, Del Toro just loves this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this movie is influenced so much. I mean, when you think about it, if you think about all the little nuances, it's right down to the tattoos on the fingers. I mean, you see that in other film after that. Then a lot of people took a lot from this film.
Lawton had considered casting Gary Cooper as Harry Powell, but Cooper declined the role as he thought it might be too detrimental to his career. John Carradine
Gary
expressed,
Cooper might have been interesting in that, but I always think of Lou Gehrig when I see Gary Cooper. I don't know. Has he ever played a villain? What has he played a villain in?
I don't know, I'm not sure. John Carradine expressed interest in this role too, as did Laurence Olivier, but the latter schedule was not free for them to do.
Robert
But
Mitchum was perfect.
yeah, Lawton approached Robert Mitchum. So there you go.
I'm surprised it did as bad as it did, though. The way they're talking about it. I mean, it's such a celebrated film now, and poor Charles Lawton never lived long enough to see it be celebrated. That's the sad thing.
Some films aren't appreciated right away. I mean, that's
No, no, sort of like singer, bands, things like that. You're not appreciated till you're poets. I mean, a lot of people didn't appreciate Edgar Allan Poe until he died.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta die to get the fame, I guess.
I
Kind
think
of a
some.
bummer.
I think. I think too. It depends, like what, because me, Patrick, and Alan are talking about this. It also depends, like what came out with this movie. Like, what was it competing against? That
Right.
too. Also, it could just be a matter of timing, not necessarily how the audience was perceiving it. Because there were films, and when you look at the films in the 50s, they're like this. They were very edgy. Faster
Yeah.
Pussycat, Kill, Kill, Kill was very edgy.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You
Yeah.
know, hell, the original Cape Fear was edgy. I mean, so you had
Yeah, this one
edgy.
was even bordering on. I was kind of surprised. I mean, it almost bordered on, the Hays Code violation here and there, I thought. Almost. Didn't quite get there.
Well, the most gruesome thing, the most sort of shocking thing they show is Shelley Winters' body
Yeah.
underneath the water. Like they show a woman, they show a woman's body early in the movie, but then they give you two
Not
bodies.
such a haunting scene, though, you know.
Yes, which is haunting enough to the audience to let you know Robert Mitchum's character is a huge threat to anybody who gets in his way. And
Yeah.
that's what you want when you're watching this type of movie where, okay, how sadistic and how far will this guy get? Well, this is how far he goes. And this is how far he's gone. In his mind, he can do no wrong.
Oh,
He's a
yeah. He's
he's
a
a
total
manipulative
scumbag. He's
he's a
a total.
manipulative killer. Um,
Well, he goes after helpless women, doesn't he? He
yes,
takes the little money they got.
until he meets a woman who's not so helpful,
Yeah.
which is Lillian Gitch's character. Uh,
Got little Pearl Harper singing all them sprilly nursery rhymes to make it even more freaky.
yes, yes. Well, I mean that helps too. I mean, his Robert
Wasn't
Mitchum's
that a
singing.
weird child? She was just a strange little girl, did you think?
Well, all kids in it. When you watch like a movie that has horror themes, most kids are either
Like
a
hereditary.
they're innocent, or they're creepy, and
Yeah.
or
The kids are always creepy. It's sort of like Children of the Corn creepy, you know? I mean,
there you go.
seriously.
Yeah, they. I will say, I like. I would say yes. The kid is creepy in this, but like not quite Omen creepy. If you get,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
It does,
is
but the whole movie though just evokes imagery throughout. There's no
yes,
way. I mean, you can't appreciate the imagery in this movie.
it's a
It's
beautiful.
beautifully filmed. It just is. It's unusual, and I don't think I remember seeing anything quite like it before or since. So I think it's sad Charles Lawton never directed another movie because of this.
I like how in the movie the kids were teasing them. They're drawing a hangman and they're singing the
Yeah,
song. And look, the
that
little
was kind of mean, actually, when you think about it, because their father got
yes,
hung. But
uh,
I keep forgetting they used to hang people back then.
yeah,
I mean,
that's what.
yeah, the last person they hung in our town was 1922 here in Texas, down in front of the courtyard to
Yeah,
take them out and do them right there.
I do like how you get a commentary from the hangman though too. When he comes into what is it, his wife, and there's these two little kids in bed.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah. How about that?
that was good. That was criminally underrated.
Yeah,
Is this your favorite
I
Robert?
don't know. I think it's quite a thriller too. That you really are, when's he going to catch up with him? What's going to happen to him? I do think that the ending where he gets, his deal is kind of, a little lackluster though. I thought he'd go down a lot bigger than what he did, but
Yeah, yeah.
they did such a good job with this. And I mean, I feel so, like I said a billion times, poor Charles Lawton. We'll never know that
Is
his
this your
movie really
favorite?
was actually a hit.
Yeah. Is this your
But
favorite Robert?
normally, um,
I said, is this your favorite Robert Mitchum film?
yeah, I love him in From Here to Eternity and stuff like that. I love a lot of war. I like those old war movies too. I watch all
Yeah.
that stuff. I always thought, I don't know, I've always enjoyed him as an actor. My mother and father, they were from that era, so I grew up watching these kinds of films, and I've always appreciated the older Hollywood boys.
Yeah.
But I liked a lot of his movies, but I did like him in From Here to Eternity. But this was one of my favorite performances that he's done, just because it shows he's got quite a bit of range as a psycho. You don't really know that until you watch Cape Fear. But you're right though, Cape Fear is a different kind of psycho.
Yeah. It's
This is
Kate.
kind of a fun psycho. Cape Fear is a scary, mean psycho.
Yes. Yeah. And that's amazing because he plays two killers in his career that are completely different. He doesn't
Yes,
give the
completely
same
different.
he does not give the same performance. If anybody's seen the original Cape Fear, it's very different from his creature Harry Powell.
He
Um,
was a very strong actor. I was sitting here thinking about it, and it's like Robert Mitchum was just unbelievably good.
and
He
and
really
he was
was.
and hey, Mitch Ryan was in a movie called Thunder Road with him. So
Yeah.
there's a Dark Shadows connection there. I is this your favorite noir film? Or?
No, there's quite a few. God, I don't even have the titles in front of me. I like a lot of this older dark stuff though,
Yeah.
but it's Eyes Without a Face is one of my favorite ones though. And a
My,
lot of
my
people that one's kind of too weird for people, that kind of noir stuff, but I like it.
the
It's a
third
weird movie. That's where Billy Idol got his idea for singing that song Eyes Without a Face. It's a good movie. You should watch it. Weird
I
as
will,
hell.
I will check it out. The
You
third
should.
man
It's weird. It's really
the third
dark too.
the third
Creepy
man is
weird.
my favorite noir. It's great.
I've never
Uh,
seen that one.
if I can find it, I'll send it to you. I have it on Blu-ray. So uh,
You know what? I know we're not talking about the time tunnel this week, but I was actually kind of disappointed
yeah,
that that did not take off and do that season. I would have really have loved to see what they would have done with that. I was disappointed.
yeah, it was actually good. It was really good actually, and they had a
I
lot
was
of.
very quite interested in it. I was hoping it was a 2 hour pilot, but no, it wasn't. So
Um, is there any? Is there anything you want to add before we go?
nope, that does it for me, hon.
Link to the Literary License Podcast will be in the description box. That has been Vickie Rae. You can get her on Facebook. You can also get Tom Hawks on Facebook. Have a good one, Vickie.
Bye. You have a nice night.